Hello, everyone. I want to share something out of the 0% book. It's a very good book to learn about history and all that. And I like to share on chapter 7, which is nationality. Um, you want to read chapter 5 because chapter 5 talks about how to get the 98 number, how to be, go into the private basically. So you want to check out chapter 5. But today I'm going to talk about chapter 7, which is nationality. It's a lot to understand, it's a lot to learn, but this is a great resource. Now, when everybody's talking about the real ID, right? I have my opinions of the real ID. I pretty much know, or what I believe it's what's coming with the real ID. And so I'm just gonna leave it there because here's anyway. So I'm gonna share the, author of this book. He talks about his classes are great. I mean, his system is great. If you can afford it, if you can afford his fees, I recommend. I've learned a lot from him, and I recommend his teachings and everything. It's pretty pricey, but you learn a lot. So I do recommend him. I don't share anything that he has not put out there in public. Okay, the things that I've learned privately, the private because anyway. But this book is out there, 0%, excellent book. There's a lot of good things in this book, so I recommend this one too. So when he talks about the you want to read this chapter, it's awesome. But he touches on the real idea, okay? I read it all the time, but the first time that I have read, several times that I have read it, I did not catch this. And he talks about the real ID here. And I didn't notice until like recently. So, the real ID has been out there, I believe since 2005. So, I just want to show you what he says. Now, this thing about nationality, it's great. He will teach you right here how to get your passport. You, instead of being a US citizen, how to properly do it. Okay. There's a lot of things out there that, how to you apply for the national passport, state national passport and all that. They have instruction. I even have an instruction um, here, but he teaches in a way through the affidavit and also the irrevocable foreign grant express trust. So his way is, I believe, is the right way because when you do it with all this instructions that everybody out there is doing it, sometimes they don't. They will send you the same U.S. citizen passport. So you might want to check this out, this book about how to properly do it. Okay, in his classes, he also has some tricks, some things that how do you do it, So I'm not going to disclose that because I can't. But he discusses in one of his videos that is on YouTube, sort of like how to do it. So check him out at YouTube. He discloses a little bit, not 100%, but how you can actually do your passport correctly. Okay. So he talks about, let's look at this chapter 7. A lot of stuff here. I am I was naturalized in 1993. And he talks about in this chapter something that is amazing, but I'm not going to go there, okay? Read the chapter, understand, see the law, get all the information out there. Um, study 22 CFR 51.2, US 8 111101A 2223. What is a passport? 22 CFR 51.2 and 22 USC 212. Study all that about nationality, okay? And then when you have a clear picture, you can, add the knowledge with this book. So he talks about all this. I mean, it's amazing. So he goes into, let's look at page, let me see. I think I have highlighted it where he talks about. So this right here is very important. Okay. But read it. I'm not gonna go there because I'm doing my own research. I've been researching this for a little while and I have a clear picture now. Okay. But just check him out. So he says, he goes into the trust, into the irrevocable foreign express trust. And like I said, in chapter 5, he talks about how to get it, how I should get the 98 number properly, okay? Properly, because there's a good way, and he gives the instruction actually how to fill it out. So if you want to know how to get the 98 number, check this book out. It is the proper way to do it, okay? Other than like when I got it, I didn't properly did it. I have the 98 number, but I, had the application, had the sample of the SS4, and I just filled it out like everybody was filling it out. And then I learned that there's a proper way to do it. So this is the proper way, what he aligns here. So okay, here it is. Read everything, the whole chapter, so you have an idea what he's talking about. But here in page 190, he says, when applying for a certificate of non-citizen national status, it is wise to apply for both the passport card and the passport book. You want to have both. As the law in the United States becomes even more strenuous, and that's what's happening regarding real ID. So he talked about real ID back then. I'm not really sure when this book was published, but I know the Real ID has been since 2005. So I'm not really sure, maybe, before, because I don't know when he published this book. Having the passport card, this is important. So if you want to do this, having a passport card will resolve the need for the Real ID. Okay, that's what I wanted. This video is about. If you're talking about, already May 7th and all this hype about the Real ID, you want to have, when you're going into the private, you want to do as much as you can to get out of the jurisdiction, So he talks about this. Having a passport card will resolve the need for the Real ID altogether. As a national, one will be able to travel anywhere within the United States of America, as well as having the ability to operate an automobile, a car, and have access to federal buildings without having to elect that one is U.S. citizen within Department of Motor Vehicles, the DMV, using a state ID or a driver's license. Okay, so your passport card will replace that. Here's how to complete the entire DS-11 as a national, but not as citizens of the United States. So he goes into how to actually fill it out, the DS-11, which is the change of passport. Okay, and he talks about how to do an affidavit, within the irrevocable foreign trust to change your status. Okay, so this is status correction 101. So if you want to do that, check out his book, and they have it on Amazon. And I just wanted to put this out there because status correction, the thing about status correction, it says, yes, I put all my paperwork, like I always say, like 20 some forms. I recorded it and everything to change my status. What happens is that part of the status correction is important and everything, but this about the passport is important, but you want to do it correctly. You want to do it correctly. He outlines here. See, this is the way to go. So I'm beginning to understand that certain things we really don't need. We really, at the beginning, I know, oh, it's PC process and all this stuff. But I'm beginning to change a little bit of my mind on those things. Also, the authentication. One of the things I want to leave in this YouTube video, because sometimes YouTube, it's the authentication of your birth certificate. I'm learning a lot, and I'm kind of like in the fence now about the authentication of your birth certificate. You learn one thing, but then you have to what is it called? De-learn. Like stop, learn something better, something different. So we all go through that where at the beginning we're like, oh, this is a new, you study as much as you can, and then you do these processes. But later on, it's like, I don't know if I needed that or something. So this video is about that. But this thing about the passport, he actually talks in one of his videos on YouTube. You want to check his channel out, it's excellent. Um, on one of his video, he talks that he just takes his passport. um, he does have the authenticated birth certificate. So if you want to do it, yes, he takes to travel his authenticated birth certificate. So I'm changing my mind because of other reasons, but he talks about how he travels with his authenticated birth certificate and with his passport. And then the passport card will be your driver's license. So everything is getting to the point, everything that's going to happen and everything's just close you in, close you in. So doing all this process is good because, you want to get it out of the whole thing, out of the whole system. It's closing in on you, closing in, and you think, well, I'm okay, I have a job and I need my driver's license, I need this, I need this, I need that. But you don't realize that things are closing in on us, the whole thing, is closing in on us to control, jurisdiction and all that. So you want to think about, because a lot of people are thinking about, discharging debt and money from the treasury and all that. Yeah, okay, that's fine. But most important for me lately in this past year has been what's going on around the world and the distraction with all this thing, news outlets, and it's all a distraction. It's all a distraction for you to be still in the matrix, still in this system. And so there was a comment in the video that I made about, how to register the car in the private. I was like, well, that doesn't work. It works. It works because you are your own government. I'm not anti-government or anything. You are your own government. So within trust, you have to have several trusts. You have to have a structure of trust, of several trusts, like, the irrevocable foreign trust. And the structure is your protection, you see. And when you don't use a driver's license anymore, and when you don't use the Social Security anymore, you don't. I don't even go into like credit anymore, because I'm trying to get out of the system completely. I know it's hard to get out of the system 100%, but you want to towards that. Living off grid is one of my thing. I've been living off the grid, although I have a house, but I have property where I can just go off grid. So I have my house, but I live off grid, in the property, and going towards all this stuff and just go out as little as possible, and getting out of the system is my priority in a way, and use all these tools that we have. So check this out, check this book out. It is great. It is great. I've had it for a few years, and I've read it several times, but I just noticed this, That's why I'm doing this video, because I just noticed this about the real ID. That's very interesting. I have read this chapter many, many times because I'm really interested in what he has to say about nationality, especially when you are, naturalized citizen. You want to know all these things, right? And the more you know, the more you know. And then I found this about the real ID. So I just noticed this after I read this chapter like so many times. And I just realized that it was in there. So I wanted to share with you here on YouTube. So I wanted to share that with you to properly do your passport and get the passport card. Where is it? And the passport card. This is very interesting, right here. This is very interesting what he says here. So if you're into helping people out and learning things, this is a great resource. Among other resources, I have tons of books. I just ordered one this week. It's coming today. I'm so excited to read it and to just, more knowledge. So the more you know, the more you know. Well, thank you. And I just wanted to put this out there. And thank you for your donations. Subscribe, like this video. Thank you so much.